Okay, here we get ready for our pizza, and we start the yeast dough. So I put 4 ounces of milk in there, and just warm it up lukewarm to like 90 degrees. You don't want to overheat it or you kill the yeast, yeah? So let's get this warm. I have a little bit sugar, I have a little bit salt, I have a little bit olive oil, and water, since later on we need to add more water to it. But just get this hot. If you make it too hot, you would kill the yeast. You want instant yeast, so you bring it up to like 90 degrees. Okay, I turned it off. So now we put a little bit of flour in here. 2 spoons. There is 1.5 pounds of flour. And I put my yeast in here. Hold on, make sure it's not too warm. Or a little bit too warm. So I put a little bit cold water in here. So it's right now. Wait a little bit. Have to wait a little bit. Look, we made a mistake, but we learned from the mistake. So we have to cool it off a little bit. I just want to get a heat out. It's a little bit too hot. Look, that's what happened. When you know everything, you think you don't have to check the temperature. Okay, that's fine. Now I put my yeast in here. You don't want to melt. I put a little bit flour in there. It gives us energy later on. Just sugar, a little bit sugar. So we have the sugar, flour, and the yeast, yeah? Like this here. Now just dust a little bit over there. Cover it up. And we put it in our proofing box. Just to let you know, I didn't know my oven has proofing. So it says proofing 85 degrees. And seems like all the new ovens have it now. It's pretty cool. You know, I baked in this oven for the last 5 years and found it out yesterday. These ingredients we have there, the flour, the olive oil, the salt, and the water, we need when the oven is proof, when we mix it back together. So we leave this all here and wait till it's proofed the first time. You let the pizza dough, yeast dough, proof 3 times. One, right now the starter. Then we mix all these ingredients in there. And then we let it rise again, or proof. And then we make it in little 3-ounce balls. Well, our starter is finished in the oven. If you look at it, these little bubbles formed. I'll show you the little bubbles, you see. Now we put this in here with the rest of the flour. Like I said, we weighed out 24 ounces of flour. I like so it's smooth. And also we put a little bit of olive oil later on it, so it gets creamy. So we put some olive oil in. And I use, for this something I like flavor, so I use some virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil for flavor. A little bit of acidity to it, just a little bit, not too much. I added now a little bit of salt. You know, we in the kitchen, we use a salt grinder just to show off, but it's you really don't have to. And now this water here is lukewarm. So whatever I had in there, I'll show you later on. You know, there's so many dough recipes, and I just want to make it smooth. So I stir it with a spoon right now till it comes, I don't mess it up too much. Now I feel like it's almost there. We have enough water in here. Now I clean off that, put my hand in there, and now I want to make it one ball. And you feel it already when you knead it like this. Flour, it's nice and smooth and soft, and later on it makes it crunchy. And the olive oil. Now, if you would have a little bit too much water in there, you could add a little bit more flour. But this is right now, seems perfect. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a touch. Let me grab a little bit more, just a little bit. So it's like now, instead of 24 ounces, it's 25 ounces. And on the yeast I put earlier in it was 1.5 packs. Since I use for every pound, I usually normally use 1 pack. Look how nice and smooth it is, soft. So I put it in here. Now I touch it up with a little bit more, just moisten it a little flour. So we have here the bread flour, olive oil, yeast, warm water, a little bit milk, salt, and a splash of sugar. And now we put it back in our proofing box. Like I said, I call it proofing box. It works perfect. Wonderful. Let me clean up the mess so when it comes out, we have to portion it out. Okay, I'm getting my dough out. So look again. When you look at it, how wonderful it's had risen with the flour on top. It feels nice. I put a little bit flour on the surface. I don't want to knead it much. Look at how nice it fell out. So you see how the yeast is risen there? Okay. Now my goal is, I know I had 24, maybe a little bit more ounces. And last week I make them like 3 ounces each. And so cut them in half. I want to make like 3-ounce balls. Since when I make pizza, it seems like it was the perfect size. Yeah. And then I just put a little bit more flour here. Making these little round balls. And I set them on here since they have to rise one more time. Perfect. A little bit too big. So the bread flour makes it so soft, but later on when you do it, it's crunched real nice. You don't want a nice little round ball, so when you roll it out with a rolling pin later on, it's real nice. It comes out much easier. You don't want to roll it here, so I turn it around and it's risen like this. So, like I said, we put them in on this tray, and then we put them back in our proofing box. And please check out, I call it proofing box, it's my oven. And 5 years I baked and cooked in it, and I never realized it's also proofed. You want them uniform, so when you roll them out, they all make the same size. So, same size pizza, so it takes the same size long to cook it. Now we do this, wrap it up again, and put it back in our proofing box. Give it another half an hour, and then we start baking. Okay, I just took our dough out of the proofing box, and it's still puffed up. I'm taking the first little thing out, and we're rolling it out. You need a little bit flour, it's a little bit softer than I want it. What I normally do, 2 things. When I make pizza, I make the dough and I make plenty enough so I have it for a couple days. Or I partially bake them and freeze some of it. But either way, I partially bake them, since when you have this soft dough and you would do vegetables on it, slides around and doesn't stick. So what I do right now, I pre-bake them before my friends come, and then we have a little pizza party. Everybody can make their own pizza. Oh, okay. It just takes a second. It just needs a few seconds. I just wanted to puff up, and I want a little bit crunch on it. You see? How long was it in there? 15 seconds? That's all. Nice and crunchy, and I lay it out here. Yeah? I have, I'm lucky. Was almost my dream to have my own wood oven fire pizza oven at my house. And so I got it. But also for some of you who don't, you can use a stone in your oven. And we go and I heat up the oven right now to want the stone real nice and hot. And then we put it in the oven there. We have to wait a few minutes. Oh, and I put a fork on there so it doesn't get the bubbles too much, like here. Then you put it in. Look how soft. If you wouldn't put the fork in there, it would bubble up. But also, if you don't feel like making your own dough, you can buy some pizza dough or pizza crust already. That's not a problem. Definitely not a problem. They're making everything so wonderful. Look how it is nice and crusty. So now when you put your ingredients on there, it doesn't slide around when you slide it in the oven. And that's my wife's new rolling pin. It's a Teflon pan, rolling pin, and nothing sticks on it. So that's the nice thing. Wherever you see it's a little bit thicker, you press a little bit more down, you press a little bit, you make it this way, you make it round. Okay. Look how quickly it goes. And listen, it doesn't necessarily always go this quick. I have right now a real big fire, so it goes real quick. So I let it die down a little bit, but I had to put the oven. I had to put a crust in. So, and like I said, it's not baked through. It just puts the skin on here. So this way, when we put the ingredients on it, it's standing up nicer. It doesn't get soggy from all the tomato sauce and everything. Put a little bit on the grill so it doesn't. I'm just feeling where it's thick and thin to make it more uniform. Like this. One of the gadgets, they have a roller to poke the holes in it, and I lost it, so I had to use the forks. But I will get one again. Now, when you make pizza dough and you make it at home, and you make as much as I do right now, and there's only two of us, well, two things. You can wrap them up after they're partially baked like I did and put them in the freezer. So if you come home one night, you just take them out, put your ingredients on it, and put it in the oven on your pizza stone, and it won't be a problem. Now my pizza stone in the oven is warm. Let's put one down there. So we're walking over to the oven. The pizza stone, I heat it up to 425 degrees. Let's go over there. Hold on. Now the one thing I noticed, it will take a little bit longer, but you would have the same outcome on it. Or, what you also can do, if you have your grill on, or you can just put it in a skillet for a second. I've done this before too. I used to grill my pizza dough on a grill. It was delicious. So you get a little bit of wood flavor, and then you put the ingredients, finish it in the oven. You can do this. Cooking is so easy. Anybody can do it. Let's check the 1 hour stone. I put it in there. Oops. I want to touch it so it's a little bit has a crust on it. It's perfect. And leave the stone in there, since that's later on we make the pizza. Okay, what we just also said, it's try one. Since preparing pizza like this and you don't have a pizza oven or a stone, let's try it. I put a skillet on the stove just to see how this works. Let's see. Okay. I had it preheated a little bit on high heat, and it should make the same thing. It should puff up a little bit and crust it a little bit. So I have to flip it over properly since, you know, it's only one side. Get the heat. So let's see. But it should work. Since I used to put them on my grill, I see it's puffing up a little bit. Like I said, you could make them like this, put the ingredients and then put them in the oven. Yep, has a nice little crust already. It just has a little skin on it, so it doesn't not like dough and it doesn't move it. You know, so many people, they use fresh pizza dough and they slide in, it's all shrivels up like a little ball, and it's not nice. Look, even this has nice, perfect. Now your friends can handle it and work with it. Well, okay, we're ready for making our pizza. Earlier, I showed you about the dough and how pre-cooked them. And look, now you can work with it, slides around. I showed you all the ingredients. And I also showed you how we roast our onions and our mushrooms and our peppers. I don't like, I told you earlier, I don't like when I get a pizza and there's raw mushrooms on there and onions and peppers and they're not cooked. They don't have flavor. You saw I sauteed them with a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper. Is it the right way? It's my way and I like it. So let's get started. One thing you always start, a lot of people, they always put the sauce on top. I like my sauce on the bottom, and this way the cheese and everything melts down. If you put everything else down into the tomato sauce, it doesn't cook underneath it. So let's start. You make sure you go all the way to the edges. And on here, our ingredients, I have from mozzarella to goat cheese, Parmesan cheese, fresh mozzarella. I have a little bit some sliced up meatballs. Let's put some on here. I have a little bit ham. I have some prosciutto. Let's put a little piece of prosciutto on there. All the prosciutto I put actually on top later on. Let's put a little bit pepperoni on there. Just 2 slices of pepperoni. I take a little bit some peppers, and I roasted them earlier. Some mushrooms. Delicious. They have so much nicer flavor now. A little bit some onions. Now that's what they call everything or the works or whatever. And by the way, I don't do deliveries, no deliveries. And so I put a little bit on one side. I put a little bit some blue cheese, gorgonzola, a little bit some goat cheese on here. And I just want to show off what, you know, what we can do here. That's it. And then I take some small pieces of mozzarella on here. That's fresh mozzarella. It will melt later nice and widely. So I put a little bit some Reggiano. That adds the flavor. Then I took my sliver of Parmesan. Prosciutto ham, not Parmesan. Prosciutto ham. A little bit of cheese on it to melt. And I just lightly tap it down a little bit so it doesn't fly off when I put it in there. Now, if we would have the normal fresh crust like I told you earlier, it would kind of slide off. But now with the paddle, you know, you put it on there, and then when you put it in, it slides off. Watch it. Voila. Other people, it shovels down. It doesn't work this way. So watch it. Now, it all depends how hot the oven is on the wood fire, where it's a little bit hot. So I have to watch it a little bit. But as I showed you earlier, we baked some crust in a pan and also our pizza stone. And the next one I'm going to make on the pizza stone, and you will see this. Now, it will take longer in the regular oven. I just look out and I just turn it a little bit. So it doesn't take too long since the stone underneath it is hot. It bakes it from the bottom and bakes it from the top. So we put it on here so we can cut it up. You want to watch it? It has a little bit high heat. Look at just little second long. I like a little bit more. You want the ingredients all the way to the edge so you don't burn if it's too hot. Voila, look at this. Look at this. Look at the beautiful color. Now it's a little bit mixed match, but I just want to show you the first one. You can do everything. Since my guests arriving in a second, and then they can make however they want it, and they can put on whatever they want. This was just a sample for me till my guests arrive. Okay, I show you now. Now the next one we're gonna make, we make in a regular oven on the pizza stone. It will take a little bit longer, but I'll show you. Okay, let's get ready. We make the next one. Let's make, again, we put the sauce all the way to the edge a little bit. Smear it on there. You can make your own or you can buy it. There's so much help. But even if you buy it, you can add your flavors to it. You can add a little bit more garlic, a little bit basil and everything. That's what we're making. I like. Let's make a simple one today. Oh, I love onions. Let's just take some ham. Make ham. And I cut it myself, so, you know, the pieces I wanted with mushrooms. I personally like a little bit goat cheese on there, since the sweetness of the ham and everything. So I think the goat cheese. You know, I also cut some pineapple. Some of the kids now, they love Hawaiian pizza with the pineapple and ham and Swiss cheese. It's delicious. So we got this. Now we put a couple pieces of mozzarella on there. They make it nice and gooey. The Parmesan Reggiano is basically for my flavor. Okay. So I put all the ingredients, and my last ingredients I always put on is the mozzarella cheese to melt over it. So it's kind of holds it together. Okay, let's put this one, and we go with this one on the pizza stone in the oven. Okay. You see? Let's see how it works. Listen, I think our pizza is ready. Let's go. We have it on broil on medium. And look how beautiful. Now it takes probably double the length in a pizza, but look how beautiful it is. So the quickest way for you to make a pizza, when I analyze now everything, is if you make your crust, grill it real quick, make your pizza, heat them up in the stone. Perfect. Let's go. Look how beautiful it is. And you see on this pizza, the mozzarella, the fresh mozzarella, how it's melted. Then the grated mozzarella gets brown and everything. Oh, look how crunchy it sounds. Isn't that, sounds delicious? Ah, A little bit more Reggiano over there. Look at this. Look at this. Ah, voila. Bon appetit. How does this sound? Okay. Let me eat this pizza first, since my guests come in a few minutes and they make their pizzas. I have to supervise them, since I don't know how good they're gonna do. Crunchy. I had a big piece of mushroom. It felt cooked. It had flavor with olive oil and salt and pepper on it. It's delicious. Guten Appetit. Okay, Kiley, let's make your pizza. Let the show begin.
I'm just saying I might have gotten a big one because I'm really indecisive. And I'm gonna do a half and half pizza. Did I hear you say you have prosciutto?
Right there. You know, sometimes when I make a pizza, I put my prosciutto after it comes out of the oven with a little bit of arugula salad, and it's delicious. Okay.
All right.
Let's put it in there. Grab the paddle.
Oh, I get to paddle it?
Yeah. And that's why I pre-baked them. So now Kiley even can pick it up, go underneath it. Look how easy it comes on there. And then go in there and slide it right here in the middle. Just slide it on a little bit further and slide it up. If we would have had fresh dough, it's maybe would stuck to the paddle. So that's why we pre-bake it. Let's watch a little bit. The flame is a little bit down, so it will take a little bit longer. You look in the front. So let's give it a second. Not a second, a little bit more than a second.
You gotta give it a chef's kiss. You think we're good?
I think so. Put it on the plate and then slide it on there.
Oh, it's so yummy. It's so fresh and juicy. And the thick ham. People hate on Hawaiian pizza all the time, but that's where it's at.
Okay, now it's Belinda's turn. Okay, Belinda, what do you want on it?
I want
Everything?
everything except for olives.
You're not the only
Okay.
one. There's someone.
All right, so
Start with the sausage. You know, since we're making this, it's so much fun and entertainment when people come over and make their own pizza.
I came over here willingly.
And I boss you around.
Willing.
Remember, put it on the outside, leave the inside kind of a little bit hollow, so it's kind of bakes and it's easy to cut. That's beautiful how you put them on there. You're perfect. Ready? You want here? Slide it on and put it in. A little bit further to the front. Push it real hard and then slides out. Perfect.
Again, I'm the same height as the openings. The flames are just like...
Yeah, but this way you have it at eyesight. You can watch it. If it would be lower, you can't see it. You know, you also not only... A few days ago, I have some black iron skillet, and you can put the meat in there, lamb chops and meat, and you can cook it in there like this. Or you have a big pot of etouffee, put a lid on and slide it in there. Okay, pull it out and so we see it. Now turn it a little bit. You turn it like this. Now what was in the front is now in the back.
You know how to do stuff sometimes.
Sometimes. Look, there were the little mozzarellas look like little marshmallows. Maybe we make a marshmallow pizza.
Ooh, a s'mores pizza.
It's tomorrow. It's on our menu for tomorrow. Look at this. How beautiful.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Huh?
I like it.
Okay, voila.
Thank you, bye.
Okay. And how's your pizza, Belinda?
I don't know. I need to try it first, Horst Pfeiffer. Let me see.
Well, it looks delicious. Huh?
It will be.
It's hot.
Oh my god. This pizza is delicious.
If there would be ghost peppers, you would be the happiest girl in the world.
This is good even without the ghost peppers. That's really good.